How's it going? Welcome to the March 21st edition of Gridlife Digest Weekly, our culture and gaming podcast, and the number one talk a lot of smack to some Aussies and lose miserably podcast. My name is Noah Friskop, and joining me is Matt Kuklinski. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good. I have school tomorrow and I want to die, but other than that, good.
Everything else is fine, just besides the wanting to die part. Well,
Yeah,
my condolences. My condolences. That's all I can
thanks,
say.
man.
And the future keeper of the holocron, Emma Myers. How are you doing? It's been a hot minute.
It has been a while, but I am great to be back. I don't have school tomorrow, so
Damn.
yeah, I know. I get to stay home and play Fortnite all day, so
Oh yeah, living your best life, as they say.
oh heck yeah.
For the uninitiated, each of us chooses a topic for conversation, and we recommend a piece of media for the group and audience to check out. You can get the show on YouTube and the podcast service of your choice every Wednesday, and be sure to check out gridlifedigest.com to see all the content in one place. While you're at it, follow us on our social media platforms at Gridlife Digest on Twitter and Instagram, as well as at Gridlife Digest Pod on Facebook, so you never miss what's happening. Now, it is time for the weekly Gridlife Digest press conference, sponsored by, once again, the absolute beating we received from Banter Lab and Overwatch. Oh boy, with 2 less people they won. So go check that out, at Banter Lab videos on Twitter, YouTube, and podcast services everywhere. So first announcement, we put up a few new videos on our YouTube channel. Eli graced us with 2 cents on Taco Bell, a new series in which we review new Taco Bell menu items, because why not? In addition to this, Micah dropped the first part of March's Grid Life Gold episode, so go watch that to see whether or not those games are worth downloading. One of them is spoilers, and the other one very much is not. And I'm not sure why this game still exists or in circulation or in anyone's attention span. So without further ado, what have you guys been playing? Emma, start us off.
Well, obviously I've been playing a lot of Fortnite,
Makes
but
sense.
aside from that, I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Ooh, that game that got that I made a video about that has like 13 dislikes now. That's a fun one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of that game. By it. And I think that I'm very endeared by it because it reminds me so much of Oblivion.
Oh yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm playing Oblivion, and to most people, that would be an awful thing. But to me,
It's a
that is
beautiful
like
thing.
it is all I could have ever asked for.
Yeah.
So I am really taking my time with it. I'm really, really enjoying it. So, but other than that, like, yeah, I've really only been playing those 2 games. So
Nice. Yeah, I jumped in. I was pretty excited about it for the exact reasons you just mentioned. It's like I looked at the trailers, I'm like, this is Oblivion in history. Like, how could there not be a better, mashup? But then I played it and was immediately stopped in my tracks by the lockpicking mechanic. But I'm gonna pick it
yeah.
up. I'm gonna pick it up on PC on a sale and get back into it with mods. I think that'll help me out. But yeah, I really appreciated what they tried to do with that game. That game probably has the best armor system in any RPG ever. Like, with how many layers of armor you can do, it's really cool. So there's a lot to love about that game, but also a lot of really strange design decisions. Yeah, I hope they fix what is broken, because I believe they are, and then, yeah, just kind of, if they're going to do a sequel, emphasize what it does well, because the idea there is really cool, and I wish
Oh
them
yeah,
success.
and it blew my mind, like, when I first played it, and just how many things like affect you, the
Mhm.
amount of like buffs your character can get, like
And debuff
the fact,
specifically.
right, and debuffs. The fact that like I banged a girl in a barn and I got a +2 charisma for a couple hours
Nice.
is awesome. Like, it's just those little details. I mean, the fact that, yeah, if I'm like just ran through manure, like I'm gonna have like a -2 to my persuasion or whatever
Mhm.
stack. It's crazy. The first like hard instance I had with this is I needed to go to some archery range, but it was like a level below me and I was up on a bridge, so I was like, "Oh, I'll just jump down."
Nope.
Well, I jumped off the bridge, snapped both of my ankles, and bled to death instantly.
That's amazing.
So, and I was like, well, I can't do that.
This isn't
So,
Skyrim. Yeah.
exactly. But I'm having a ton of fun with it. Just also how you can do a quest, like a given quest, so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the first quests you have to do is like, well, get armor. Okay. So obviously I could not lockpick the chest because let's be real, you cannot lockpick in that game. It's not
No,
going to happen.
not until they fix
So
it.
I literally just choked out a guard and stole all of his armor and everything.
It's amazing.
And I was like immediately rich and like right off the bat. I was
Yeah.
like, dude.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm really enjoying this game.
Probably my closest experience to something like that is the like very very early where you have to escape the fortress in order to go bury your parents. And it
Mhm.
tells you, like, you need to get out of this castle. So I'm like, all right, how am I going to get out of this castle? And some NPC was like, go, take some of the guards' clothes and you can just sneak out. Well, I tried to go do that, and I was caught immediately, thrown into jail, and then be like, all right, we don't want this criminal in our fortress, so he set me free. And I was like, oh, now I'm free. So it's just like, that quest could have gone so many different ways, and it just happened to play
Yeah.
out that way for me.
I tried to choke out a guard once and failed, and I got
Mhm.
sent to jail for 11 days. And that thing will spin very, very, very
Oh, very
slowly
slowly.
for 11 days. It literally, I was in jail for like 35 minutes.
That's
It
amazing.
was awful.
It makes you feel the repercussions of your actions rather than like Elder
Oh,
Scrolls where you
yeah.
can just like press a button, sleep it away, and feel nothing.
Right, you can't just, that's the other thing about this game. You can't just save and go do what you want.
Yeah.
Like, you have those things you drink, but those things are super expensive to buy.
Save
So,
your
like,
snaps or whatever they're called.
yeah. Oh, well, game is really fun. Definitely has its issues. Um, I haven't run into the game's crashed on me once.
Mm.
Other than that, I haven't really run into any game-breaking bugs, but just kind of the more kind of bugs that I find more endearing.
Yeah.
Like
The
I
Oblivion
was
stuff.
yeah, like the Oblivion style glitches with it, which is if you've ever played like that type of game, then you understand. But yeah, I, I'm kind of like a trash person because I love when games have like little bugs like that
Yeah.
I just find like funny, like same reasons why I love Kids Bop,
Yeah.
I just find it funny and endearing. So,
Endearing imperfection.
right. No game's perfect. So your bug might as well be like some dude yelling at me, something that makes no sense whatsoever,
Yeah.
So
Even the greatest games have their issues. And how do you feel about the combat? Because that's a pretty controversial aspect of it.
the combat.
Thank you.
I don't really know how to feel about the combat. I like it because it's challenging. It seems to work if you're good at it, but I'm not good at it. So this is me in combat. The dude will be running at me, swinging his sword, and I'll just be shooting arrows point blank at his face.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So what is the combat like then? Why is it controversial?
I'm in with my sword and whack him, but yeah, I don't really know how to feel about the combat. I think I'm just really bad at it. So
It's not the
I guess
most
it's a
eloquent
problem.
combat system, and it's better to play than it is to watch. So I can kind of get some of the pre-release what is this? But yeah, I was planning on playing kind of like a stealth archer, but that doesn't work because arrows don't fly super straight like in a fantasy game. So another layer of realism. Do you feel like the realism adds to the experience or detracts from it?
I think that it depends.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm out hunting and I'm trying to kill an animal and it's standing still and I shoot 20 arrows at it before I actually land one, it sucks.
It's
But
so
then,
realistic.
It also makes it that much more gratifying when you actually do good.
Yeah.
So, I think I think there's a pretty good balance there. I don't think it's overly realistic to the point where it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely, I just think it's a good amount of challenge for me. Because I'm the type of person that, when I play like Skyrim, I'll turn the difficulty all the way down so I can one hit people
Yeah.
with everything. So, because I just, want to run around and have fun. So it was completely different for me playing this game. And it's nice though. It's a nice change of pace. And I think that the game handles it really well. But I definitely see why why people don't like the combat in particular.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard. You actually have to practice to get good at it. So, but I enjoy that. It's different.
Yeah, there's definitely not a power fantasy to be had here, so don't go in expecting that. Like you have to actually get good, like you said. And I like how you're illiterate too at the beginning. Like you cannot read at all. And it's just all just like jumbled symbols to you.
Cool is I got like the special edition of the game, so it comes with this like DLC,
Hmm.
but you don't get it right. So it's like all this armor.
Yeah,
You
I have
don't
that
get
too.
it right off the bat.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it gives you these treasure maps, but in order to read the treasure maps, you have to first find someone to teach you how to read. Then you can read the treasure maps. Then you can find the treasure for the DLC you got, and that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. A lot of stuff. It's a lot of games you get the pre-order bonuses or whatever. They're just like, here you go, here's your free weapon or whatever. But you actually have to earn it in this, and that's refreshing. Yeah, just the fact that it is rooted in history as much as it can and not fantasy, it's definitely refreshing. And I hope more games kind of go in that route in the future. Because yeah, I love fantasy games, but we've had a lot of them at this point, and none of them are as good as The Witcher 3. Okay, so what about you, Matt? What have you been playing?
The only thing I've been playing recently is Life is Strange Before the Storm,
Yes.
and I've been enjoying it. I think it's really good, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
How do you compare it to the original? Do you like it as much, or is it just it has the prequel issue that every prequel has?
Um, I don't know. I feel like I might like the prequel even more than the original
Okay.
because I think that Chloe is she's more interesting of a character than Max is. And so in this one, there's no like time travel going on. So in that respect, it's, I guess, a little bit more, I want to say realistic.
Yeah, grounded.
Yeah, grounded. And so in the original game, they're always talking about this character Rachel Amber, who you never get to meet and stuff. So playing the prequel, it's really interesting to finally be able to see like who this person was, who this character was, and all that. And yeah, it's really good. I'm on the last episode currently, and then I'll play the farewell episode, and then after that, I'll be platinum number 36.
Nice. You're 40. You're almost at 40. What is going to be your 40th plat?
Uh, dude, I have no idea.
Get that knack too.
Oh, nah, I
Nah,
can't get
no.
knack 2.
If it's anything like knack one's trophy list, just stay the hell away.
I heard that it's like it's more doable. Like it's not ridiculous like the first game is.
It's
but, like,
unreasonably hard.
yeah, like my thing is like I can't platinum knack 2 if I don't platinum knack
Oh,
1.
okay.
Yeah.
I respect
But
that.
I honestly don't think I'm ever gonna like I would never that's like 50 hours you have to put into knack, and
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do that.
I'd rather slit my own wrists.
Yeah,
Just being frank.
basically. Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
so glad I don't ever have to play knack again in my entire life.
Hey man, when knack 2 becomes a PS Plus game,
Then I'm gonna have to do it. Damn it, Matt. Ugh. I can't
Just
get out of it
saying.
then. I'll just pawn it off on Eli for that month. Uh, Knack
You could.
Knack made me legitimately sad playing it. I was like, I could be doing anything else right now, and here I am
Yeah.
mashing square like a madman. But it's over. It's in the past. So, what have I not been playing? Is the question. So my gaming PC arrived, and so I was just like, install everything under the sun.
Yeah, why not?
Primarily been actually putting significant hours into The Witcher 3 again. It's got its hooks in me once again. It does not let up. And playing it in 2K at like 60 frames per second solid is on ultra is borderline religious experience. Cannot recommend it enough. And then also Doom 2016 at 144 frames a second. Damn. Other than that, just been kind of messing around with some stuff. Started Star Wars: The Old Republic this morning, just to see, and I'm actually kind of digging it. I've tried to get into it several times, but I guess just having capable hardware is a pretty big factor in that. I'm finding the hotbar combat actually pretty enjoyable, especially with some of the combat animations. It's actually fairly competent, which I didn't expect. I don't know. There's moments where it feels like you're playing just a classic BioWare RPG, and that's where it really hits its stride. Not really as an MMO, but just as a game where you can exist in Star Wars. I think it really succeeds, and the fact that it's like 8, I think, individual character stories, like that's 8 games worth of content for free, or if you want to pay for a subscription, which I got a short one just so I could not be locked by content, but I'm kind of interested in playing it more. So I don't know. It's very strange because I'm typically not an MMO guy, but it's mainly just to be in Star Wars more, just to look and have this big old open world to explore with multiple planets and people running around doing crazy stuff. So I think that's it. I talked about Mass Effect last week, so we'll move on. Let me see. I totally lost my train of thought. I was just thinking of The Witcher. All right, so we can get into topics now. I'm going to start us off. This was kind of just one I had off the top of my head before we started, admittedly. The last few months have been kind of mentally trying for me. And I just wanted to know, how do you guys, what provides catharsis for you? Like when things get shitty in your life, what do you turn to just alleviate some stress and kind of just feel better? Because just for me, I've noticed that I've been really getting into just very frequent music playing just all the time, just to try to suppress these thoughts that I have, unfortunately. I've just found it to be like just really therapeutic and really relaxing. It just kind of just, you can just take a moment to appreciate something else going on between your ears rather than your own thoughts. And I don't know, I want to know what you guys' perspective is on just catharsis and coping mechanisms and therapeutic activities. I explained that really ineloquently. So Matt.
No, yes. Okay, yeah, no, Matt, take it away.
So for me, whenever I'm like in a bad mood, like you said, listening to music, I feel like that's something a lot of people can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of different stuff out there, and like no matter what you're feeling, somebody has written a song about it. So like music is, I listen to music. Another thing I like to do is get some exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy going on walks and stuff. It's really calming, and especially like if you have headphones in, so you take in all the surroundings and stuff. Where I live, there's like a really nice, it's like a hiking trail through the park and stuff, and I'll just go through that. Just listen to music. Just ponder my thoughts or whatever. And if it's like nice weather and stuff, there'll be like other people on the trail too, and yeah, just taking in nature and stuff is really good. You're getting that. I think is it vitamin D from the sun?
Yes.
Yeah. So like you're getting that, which is good. I mean, for me, like I really enjoy the summer and spring weather when it's nice and warm. So like something I noticed about myself is like during winter time, when it's like really cold and like the weather is just like it's like raining and stuff all the time. I guess I feel like not as happy
Mm-hmm.
as when it's nice out, like the sun is out. I feel like I don't have as much energy, and I feel like more sad or more depressed and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
there's
So
like a slight seasonal depression, kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
I have the
So
total polar opposite of that, where when it is dark and gloomy and cold, that is when I am energetic and I want to be outside. So I don't know what's wrong with me.
really,
Yeah, it's definitely not the
Yeah.
majority thing, but I love cold weather and rain and fog and all that kind of atmosphere. I love that. But I'm
um,
strange.
cold weather, like it's all right. Like that doesn't depress me, but like if it's raining and thunderstorming, like I find that really depressing.
Yeah, I'm not down for thunderstorm,
Um,
but
yeah, fog is all right. I just don't. I really hate snow. Like
mhm.
I can't stand snow. Like
Yeah.
it's horrible. Um, but yeah, so what I was gonna say is so in my time it is now the 19th.
Hmm.
So tomorrow is the first day of spring. So I'm hoping that it starts getting warmer soon. Um, and yeah, so other than that, video games, I feel like there's always something in my backlog that will entertain me and like keep me from like thinking like dark thoughts, I guess. Playing a good video game that's like story driven or something like that, like always cheers me up. And if like I'm not in the mood to play a game or something, I'll do the other stuff. Like I'll go outside, go for a walk, or I guess if I'm not in the mood to play a game, I'll just watch Netflix or something like that. Like just um, just take in some media,
Hmm.
or there's the YouTubes, uh, kind of funny, listen to their podcasts and stuff like that. That always makes me feel better. That's 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 pretty much it for me. That's what I do to take like the stress away and stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good like balanced rotation of stuff. All right, Emma, I'm solid. I apologize for cutting you off. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, these past 2 months for me personally have also been very, very hard. I obviously won't go into super details about any of that, but I found so I've been, doing this a lot recently and kind of figuring out what works for me. Um, and I found that for me personally, sitting down and like playing a video game or like watching Netflix or YouTube or something actually just makes it worse.
Really?
Yes,
Hmm.
and video games are different. Sometimes I'll be able to sit down and play a video game, and I think it's different because I'm more actively engaged with it. But like watching a movie or like TV or YouTube or anything, like I can't do that. And I think it's just me just sitting there, um, not doing actively doing anything to like really keep my brain like what's the word? Not focused on itself,
Yeah.
distracted.
Yeah.
So what I found, like Matt was talking about, I'll go out and walk the trail on campus. Um, I know that there's some like exercise actually does help with like anxiety and depression and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So it's really nice to just get outside and walk the trail. And I'm like you, Noah, where bad weather is great weather.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm all for, I mean, you said you're not for thunderstorms, but thunderstorms, if I could live in a place where it thunderstormed every day,
I
I
like
definitely would.
I like viewing thunderstorms from the comfort of a house. I don't like, but I don't want to be out in it.
Yeah, being out in it is something completely different.
Yeah,
But
that's what I meant.
so like going out and walking and just kind of clearing my brain, taking a hot shower.
Ooh,
That's another thing that's really
yeah.
nice. Um, Also, music is great. Um, exactly how you were saying, getting something going into your head that's just not your own thoughts. Um,
Essential.
yeah,
It's
it's
fantastic.
because you are your own worst enemy, especially in
That's the
times like
problem.
that. So
That's my problem. It's like all of this is entirely my fault, and it's my brain telling me to fuck myself. So I just
yeah.
drown it out. But yeah, for me, yeah, definitely with music, especially like just really heavier stuff. Like it's like a really rough massage for my brain and
Hmm.
my like just being. So yeah, like it's just been crucial these last few months. And but I feel like I'm slowly climbing out of it. But that's been probably the biggest factor in helping me stay sane. And like Matt was talking about, like with video games, like it's not just video games in general, but very specific games. I find like when things are really down, especially like big, like story-driven open world RPGs. That's why I have so many replays of the Mass Effect trilogy. Like that's just my go-to. Like I just want something I know and I can play and I can enjoy characters. And then also like The Witcher. Like The Witcher 3, when I first played it, it was probably in absolutely my most difficult time in life, and it was a constant that I could rely on. And now going back to it now, playing it, it brings back those same memories, but then also it also contains the same comfort that I felt then. So it's this weird thing where yes, it's a great game on its own, but I also associate it with the time in which that I played it. Are there any games for you guys that you kind of associate more the time that you played it and the feelings it gave you rather than the game itself?
For sure. That would
Yeah.
be Jack and Daxter for me.
Yeah.
Precursor Legacy specifically. Um, that it's by no means a masterpiece of a game,
Yeah.
but it is also like the memories that I have playing that game, like just with myself or my brothers or my friends, like when they would come over and play. And that was like the first video game I ever remember playing ever.
It's a pretty big
So
deal.
that's a game that I can sit down and play, and I can literally play that game over and over and over and over and over again, and
Hmm.
I'll never get bored of it. I will always love it and enjoy every second of it. And honestly, besides Coder, those are like the only two games that I really genuinely feel that way about.
Yeah.
That I
I
could literally just sit down and play for literally for forever and I won't ever get tired of it.
That's the same for me with Mass Effect and MGS. Like I can just play those games over and over and over again. It's like I know them like the back of my hand, but there's this weird comfort to them. Like they're constantly they're both challenging, but then also just the story and characters are so timeless that going back through, even though you know what's going to happen, like it's still very satisfying to play. And also the Batman Arkham games, those are always ones I replay a lot. Those three series are will be forever replayed for me. And then yeah, all the Bioware stuff, KOTOR included, also included in that list. But yeah, just kind of an interesting thought. I was thinking like there's a lot of games that like I wouldn't consider good, but then I associate fond memories to that either got me through a really tough time. Like MGS Peace Walker was also played in a really difficult time in my life, so I have a special reverence for it as well. How about you, Matt? Do you have any specific games you always go back to when things are on the downslope?
No, not really.
Mm.
Um, I replay games very rarely. When I was younger, I used to play Pokemon Fire Red and like Emerald. Like I don't know, every couple months I would start like a new save.
Oh wow.
Um, because I don't know, it was like at the time, I was a kid, so I didn't have like income every week where I could just buy like new games and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would just go back and play like my favorite games and stuff. But the like for me, there's not really any games I specifically will go back to if I'm feeling in like any sort of mood. Usually,
Mm.
I'll just play whatever I'm currently playing, or I'll just start something new for me.
Nice. And yeah, Max has been really instrumental in me finding new music to appreciate, which I've really loved. He's gotten me into some stuff, and then also my boss at work has been like, giving me recommendations and passing stuff back and forth. So just not just listening to music, but discovering new music that you love. Like there's a special like satisfaction where you're like, oh, this is awesome. Like where's this been all my life? So yeah, there's a lot you can do, and unfortunately, a really negative cathartic activity I find is food. I love late night
Ooh,
snacking. It's a problem.
yeah, me
Um,
too, man.
I'm
Me
trying to get
too.
away from it, but man, after like a really stressful night at work, there's nothing more satisfying than taking a bunch of hot wings home and just like mowing them in my bed
Mm,
and hating myself afterward.
yeah,
Um, I'm trying to break it, but man, it's just
it's hard.
you can just decompress and just enjoy a meal and then immediately pass out, and that's a really negative thing, and you gain a lot of weight that way. But man, it just hits the spot.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man, with
Yeah.
that one.
Goals for 2018, stop doing that at least as much. um any other ways you cope with life slapping you in the face?
Oh, well, okay. I do have one more, but it's kind of it can be good or bad depending on the situation. You know, retail therapy, when you start buying shit you don't need.
That's a really potentially unhealthy one, but yeah.
Yeah, like I was telling you guys before the show started, like I just went ham on pops.
He's got a whole case of them. Just like bring me
Yeah,
all of
like
the Dragon Ball Z pops.
it like it's insane. Like before I started buying these, I was like, okay, this is kind of ridiculous. Like they look cool and stuff, but why do people have like 10 trillion of them?
Yeah, that's a
And
little. It gets a
now
little ridiculous for some people.
now I'm just like, ooh, I can't get away. I'm addicted, man.
Yeah, I really can't criticize you whatsoever because I literally have like 30 of them in front of me. Here's Corvo. This is one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Also Dishonored, that game. Oh my god, I come back to it numerous times. I find that stealth games are really cathartic for me. Like there's something infinitely satisfying about those, that genre. Just being able to just patiently wade through really brain dead guards and feeling satisfying when you go through it unseen. Like that's just that whole genre, no matter what game it is, always is satisfying and calming. Even though it's inherently stressful, it's weird that it's so inherently stressful, but it calms the hell out of me. I don't know. My brain is weird sometimes, all the time. Well, yeah, this was a cool topic. I'm glad to hear very different things. I'm glad I don't have the random spending one, just because money doesn't grow on trees. But I don't blame you there at all. I'm
Right.
glad my pop addiction is kind of settled. It's like, all right, I have all the ones I kind of wanted, except the new Halo ones are coming out, the new Overwatch ones are coming out. So rest in peace, my wallet. All right, Emma, what's your topic?
So I have a little bit different one. Um, I have three questions that I want you guys to answer. These are very, uh, everyone needs to answer these questions.
Okay.
So, to everyone out here listening, in the comments, I need you to answer these questions too.
Send in at Gridlife Digest on Twitter.
They're essential. You can't truly know a person unless you know the answer to these questions. So, I have three of them for you. We'll start off with the least weirdest one first. Um,
Here we go.
what part of a kid's movie completely scarred you?
Oh shit. I kind of would have
So,
liked some premeditation on this one, not gonna lie.
yeah, I'll go first,
Mhm.
so I'll let you guys think about it. For me, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Oh,
Specific part in that movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, I love this movie. Um, if you kind of know the type of person I am, then you know that I love all that supernatural stuff.
Hmm.
And this movie is where it all started. Um, but to this day, seeing the part in that movie where like Morgan Moonscar like reanimates and like becomes a zombie is terrifying. And the scene when he's in the kitchen, like the ghost, and he's like writing on the wall, it still genuinely creeps me out, which is I don't want to say it's hard to do, but it's kind of hard to do because I'm kind of desensitized to a lot of that stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something about seeing that, and it's animated too. So like,
Yeah, it's not even live action.
right, there's something about seeing that that just unsettles me to my core. Um, but that being said, I still love that movie. It's still fantastic. If you've never seen it, what the hell's wrong with you?
I've probably seen it
Like,
literally when it came out.
oh man.
Wasn't that one of the more recent ones?
I don't think so.
Recent in terms of Scooby-Doo's decade-long lineage.
Yeah, I mean, I think it came out in the early
See,
2000s, maybe
that's what I
late
was thinking.
90s. I'm not
Wait,
entirely sure, but
is
yeah.
that the one with the werewolves too, or is that a different
The
one?
cat women, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know exactly what movie you're talking
Hmm.
about. I've seen it like half a dozen times probably because it always like reran on Cartoon Network or whatever. Pretty good movie, but yeah, it was pretty creepy too.
It was creepy for kids. Because I mean,
Yeah, like
the first time I saw that movie, I had to have been like 5.
Yeah,
yeah.
that leaves an impression on a little child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Any,
I'm
yeah, any kids
really this
movies
is
scarred
such a
y'all?
really good question. Matt, do you have any? I need another second.
Uh, I'm really struggling to think of something right now.
Damn.
Uh, kids movie that scarred me.
See, I'm like all of my examples of things that scarred me aren't kids movies.
Yeah.
Like the Fellowship of the Ring really fucked me up. I was way too young to see that. Um,
I mean, like the first thing that I thought of when you asked this question is in Finding Nemo when the fish are at like the dentist's office or whatever,
mhm.
and then that like the dentist's daughter or whatever comes in and she's like shaking her like fish that she just got, and like the other fish notice that
Yeah.
like that fish is dead and stuff. That's some pretty like dark shit, you
Yeah,
know?
I guess I was just a fucked up kid. I was like, yeah, this is funny. That's a good one.
That's the first thing I could come up with.
The
I don't
one,
know if that scarred me, but
yeah,
you know.
okay, so the one that my brain jumped to, it's not a kids movie, but it's gonna have to do. There's the Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke has a scene in which a bunch of like samurai dudes like just completely slaughter all these farmers, and it's really violent. And like there's dismemberment and all this blood, and that was just like the most visceral thing in my brain at the time. I don't know why I was shown this, but how I remembered it was so much worse than what it actually looks like, even though it's still pretty bad. But like it was so much worse in my head for years until I saw it again. And just that image of these guys just coming down and just cutting these people to bits was just like the most disturbing thing ever. Which is pretty. I mean, it's pretty disturbing, but just the way they
Especially
handled
for
it.
a child. I
Yeah,
mean,
for a child, I was like, oh my god! Like you can see their bones. Like the thing that really stuck with me was
oh
like when they
God.
like lop someone's arms off, and like you could see like they in the middle of like his bone left over, and like this dude like runs out with no arms and stuff. It's like really violent. But and then you watch like a lot of their movies, they're like really kid friendly, so I think that's probably why I saw it. Yeah, they go from 1 to 10 real quick with that studio. It's like either like really like charming, child friendly to like the most dour, depressing, fucked up stuff you could ever see. Not quite that bad because anime it gets pretty bad, but yeah, that really really stuck with me. And then also just I think it wasn't even any of the movies, but just a scene from Predator, just like when he takes his mask off, like just the sounds was really scary to
Hmm.
me as a kid. But that didn't stick to me nearly as much as the anime did. Yeah, I wish I had a more specific, actually kid movie example, but that's all I got for you.
Yeah, okay. So what you when you mentioned anime,
Mm-hmm.
that did actually remind me of something
That
that did like kind of traumatize me
yeah.
like a little bit, but it's not a kids movie, it's from an anime. So this was back when, I was a youngin. I
Mm-hmm.
was watching Cartoon Network. It was like late at night, so it was like Toonami.
Toonami, oh yeah.
Their anime block. I was watching
Best.
Naruto, and so Naruto, really great show, like one of my favorite animes of all time. But so they were I guess they just started airing it or whatever, because this was like the very first arc of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, the first arc in the original anime, like for me, I think it's like the most graphic, like the anime like ever is. Like I feel like after the first arc, like the violence and the blood and stuff, it's like not as gory as like later on in the show. So there was this one particular episode where there's this one really bad dude who's like trying to take control of like this village or whatever. And so there's only like one person in there who is like trying to oppose him and stuff. So then the bad guy tries to like set an example uh, using him. So like he gets like his goons or whatever to beat him up and shit. And then he like ties him to a post and stuff, and like gathers all the villagers or whatever. And then basically like he gets like his goons to murder him. And there was like this kid who his father, he didn't have a father. I guess his father passed away or whatever. But the guy who was being killed became like the father figure for this kid. And the kid like watched like basically his father get murdered right in front of him.
Damn.
And like as a kid, that like really freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like going into my parents' room and like telling my mom I got like really scared. Like I started like crying and stuff.
Man.
And then my mom was like, "Yeah, I told you not to be watching like the cartoons late at night or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah, you're right, Mom."
I learned my lesson." And then like when I grew up, I'm like, "Okay, this isn't that bad. Like it's still pretty like for a kid to watch.
It's heavy.
Like, it's probably yeah. So that kind of like messed me up a little bit.
Yeah, my entire knowledge of Naruto comes from either I can't remember, but like 5 to 10 issues of the manga that the middle school library had. I read all those, but that's the extent of my knowledge. It went up to like the first like big like tournament they had.
Oh, okay.
Like when they introduced the girl that controls sand. Doesn't she like crush somebody with sand? Like that.
That's a guy. That's a guy. First of all.
Oh shit! Again, middle school.
Yeah, he does like crush the guy with sand, and then he basically is incapacitated for a long time.
Yeah,
Can't fight.
The manga was really brutal and bloody. They probably might have toned it down a little bit, and perverse, but yeah, they might have toned it down.
Oh yeah, definitely. Usually the manga is like a lot more gory than the anime.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of fucked up mangas in the middle school library that I probably shouldn't have been reading.
Oh yeah,
but I enjoyed it.
Here.
But I enjoyed it. Man,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to really think about this one. Come back to it. All right, what's the next question?
All right, next question. Would you rather have a grapefruit-sized head or a head the size of a watermelon?
This one you said ahead of time, and I love it. What's your first instinct?
See, this is a lose-lose situation.
It really is. That's why it's hard.
Because both options are terrible.
Absolutely. That's why it's a good question.
Well,
but
that's
I
arguable.
think I would rather have a watermelon-sized head. Now, think of it this way. It doesn't say that the watermelon has to be horizontal.
Oh, yeah.
So human heads almost, maybe a little bit smaller than a watermelon anyway.
Now I just got like the horror movie, like the head turning horizontally image and growing out to the size of watermelon. Just think about that one for a
But
second.
even if, like, say your head, ooh, but if your head was horizontal, does that mean like your face is like
Stretched out.
elongated this way? Because that's
That's
terrifying.
We're
really
asking all
terrifying.
the good questions.
My brain jumped right to the person from Katamari Damacy who just has like this really long horizontal head, but his face is just in the middle. So probably like that, but if it's real life, probably would be stretched. Oh, that's really terrifying to think about. Oh my gosh, I don't like that at all. That's more disturbing than the Princess Mononoke. Man, I would.
I still think I'd go for the watermelon.
Yeah,
Personally.
I'd
Yeah,
probably have to as
definitely
well.
watermelon.
Yeah, because imagine how
Definitely.
vulnerable you'd be with a grapefruit-sized head.
Yeah.
Like you could die at any
Exactly.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Not down. But also, like,
Not
if you
down.
get in a car accident with a fucking watermelon-sized head, it's over. You just watermelon everywhere.
I mean, maybe it would provide like more protection. I
Well, no,
don't
because it's
know.
still a head, so it's still just as
Well,
fragile.
yeah, but if your head is like as big as a watermelon, doesn't it have don't you have like more of a skull to protect you? I don't know, man.
I mean, you'd still get
Think
hurt in a
about
car
how
accident.
heavy it'd be.
Oh yeah, you'd have to like
It'd be
hold it up.
so heavy.
You'd have to have a brace on at all times.
It
Like, hey
makes
guys.
me think of the Elephant Man, if you've ever like
Oh
read
yeah.
about that or seen the
Oh,
movie. Yeah, like that's what it makes me think of, which is
poor
terrifying.
guy, poor guy.
Like that guy couldn't even sleep laying down.
Yeah, there's no way you could. I mean, you could just like prop yourself down, and you'd have to like get someone to help you like get up in the morning. Just like, all right, lift. Just grab on each side, pull. Yeah, no, the grapefruit. I always associate grapefruits with the grapefruit technique. So I
Yeah.
can't. I don't want to be anywhere near that. That's even more
One of
terrifying.
one of the greatest videos of all time.
Incredible, absolute
I agree.
master
Yes, I
stroke.
concur.
Okay, now combine those sounds with the image of someone's head being stretched out like a watermelon. That's the kind of shit my brain thinks of.
That's not where I thought you were gonna go with that
Nope.
statement, but I'm glad. I'm glad you went that way.
I
Not
could
what
have
I was
gone.
thinking.
Yeah, it's more just like a twisted like body horror thing rather than what it could have obviously gone. Yeah, gotta go with the watermelon. Next question.
All right.
Final.
Final question. This one, I don't know. Okay, I know my answer, but I have a feeling it's going to be different for you guys because you're guys. So, would you rather age from the neck
I'm sorry, cut out. Could you repeat it?
down only?
Yeah, could you repeat that?
Would you rather age from the neck up only or the neck down only?
Hmm. So you're
So
saying
for
I could have an
me-
old man head,
Right.
but a pristine, jacked body. Yeah, go. What is your perspective first off?
See, okay. So let's dissect this question.
Okay, let's break it down.
You're born.
Yeah.
So you either your head and face only ages on your baby body.
Oh, okay,
Or
okay. I was thinking like you get to a point like where you start to age, then it starts to happen, not out of the womb. That's a whole nother thing.
No, we're going out of the womb.
Okay, that changes
Because
everything.
the question says, would you rather only age up from the neck up or only from the waist below or neck below? So
I still assume that there's normal development up until significant aging, but
we'll hit age 10.
okay, that's so I'm gonna have a 10-year-old body and an 90-year-old person's head. Okay, I don't know. I don't like either of these options now.
Do guys hit puberty by 10? They don't,
That's
right?
like super early.
So
At least like 12 or 11.
So I don't know how that affects y'all. But for me,
That's a crucial thing.
right. See, for me, I'm like the same height as I was at age 10.
Yeah.
If I literally only aged from the neck up at age 10, I would look the exact same. I'd just be skinnier. So I'm gonna pick that one. I would rather have a older face
Yeah.
and a younger body. Because for me personally, it really wouldn't change that much. But
See, I can't stop going back to the out of the womb scenario where I'm an infant child with a 90-year-old person's head. But for the sake of just parity with yours, yeah, probably whichever one lets me my body so I can grow, and then have, well, I don't know. What about you, Matt? I need to think about this more.
Uh, yeah, so I think I'd rather have my body age because when I was 10 years old, uh, it was not pretty. I was a lot, like I was a really chubby kid,
Yeah,
and I mean, yeah, I guess like
you
you
can still
could
lose weight.
like change your ways or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like I'd rather like age, like have my body age, and then I guess
Yeah,
have like a 10-year-old face.
baby face.
Although that's gonna make dating like really weird.
There's a person that literally, like, their body. Well, there's a lot of people, but I watched a documentary about a guy who's has like the like maturity level and body of like a kid, but is obviously a lot older, and it's very strange. So like they have like
Oh
very
yeah,
childlike features, but then
Mhm.
they're older. Like they like yeah, that was like before puberty, so like they don't feel like any sexual emotions or whatever. And like, how would that
yeah, I
work?
know, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you must have seen that too. It's
Uh,
probably body age so that yeah I can grow, because I don't want to have a child body forever.
I like
yeah,
to think in this hypothetical scenario that everybody has to make this decision.
What if
So,
the parents have to do it? They have to come up
right.
with the
So
child.
you either have, so there's only there's the people that have super young bodies and, they age normally, or the people that have really old bodies and have baby faces. And there's only those two in
That's a
conjunction.
horrifying place that I don't want to live in. But it would be totally normal if it was that alternate universe timeline, bizarro world.
what if that's how aliens are like?
What if? Yeah, we
That's who
could.
asked the question.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
shit.
yeah. It's like, all right, aliens come to Earth. They come out of their spaceship like Close Encounters of the Third Kind style. It's very ominous, bright lights. And then they come in, they're just one short person with an old person head and a really tall person with a baby face. We're like, oh my God. We're,
We called it.
we called
We're
it.
calling it right now.
Exclusive. Gridlife Digest Weekly exclusive. When aliens come, this is what they're going to look like. Well, that was a riveting mental exercise that is horrifying any way you. Or what if you had a grapefruit-sized old man head, or
Oh.
a watermelon baby face. That like which one
Damn.
would you rather have then? Just to layer them.
A watermelon baby face.
Watermelon baby face, yeah, probably same.
Yeah, probably same. That's gonna be one weird looking baby, but
Not as weird as a grapefruit with 90-year-old wrinkles.
yeah.
Um, oh, it's hard.
Then it's gonna be
It's
like
so
look like a rotten grapefruit
yeah.
then. Shit.
It's really horrifying. I'm imagining it in like the most realistic detail imaginable. Just absolutely terrifying. All right, I need to move on, please.
Do we need to though?
Yes.
Do we need to? Yes, we absolutely do need to. My monitor keeps turning off. All right. Anyway, it is time. Before we recommend something, we have some rapid fire questions from the internet. I did not stick that transition whatsoever. So to submit a question, write in at Gridlife Digest on Twitter. So Eli Shaw, we know him. He's our own. Asks, are
I've heard of
you?
him.
Yeah, I've heard of him too. He's getting around. He's on that
He's all right.
completely
What was the
consensual.
name again?
Eli, Eli, Eli Shea,
L.A. Shaw.
L.A. Shea.
Hmm.
We do this every week. It's gonna get old eventually. Are you avoiding Infinity War trailers? And if not, why the heck not? Personally, I've watched them all except for the most recent one. I already know I'm in. I've already seen all the images online. Don't really need to see it at this point. Because I know I'm gonna be there day one. How about you? How about you guys? You watching those Infinity War trailers? Are they as
No.
congested? Okay, no.
I honestly could not care any less about like
Yeah.
all right, so like my thing is I'll probably see the movie because my friends will drag me to go see it,
And it's a
but like
historic event for cinema, Matt. Eight, ten
yeah, but I
plus
mean
years in the making.
George
29 films.
Washington was the first president, but now he's not. So like, oh wait, I mean he still is the first
Yeah, it's
president, but
like
he's not president anymore.
you can never take that away from him. Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is an unheard of thing.
All
It's
right, just because you put 3 trillion superheroes in one movie doesn't mean the world's gonna like
they're breaking new
world
ground.
peace.
They are breaking new ground.
I mean, like I said, like I'm probably gonna see it, but like I would never see it like if it wasn't for my friends who were like gonna drag me to see it. I don't really like have an interest. Like I like Marvel movies. I saw Black Panther, but
You're gonna
like
see more Black Panther now. You just get more Black Panther.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and Spider-Man's in it, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Two
like
reasons.
yeah. So, but like my point is like the trailers. Like I'm not gonna watch them because like I don't care that much. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So that's my answer.
yeah. I care enough to not watch them. How about you, Emma? You care at all?
Not really. I love the Marvel movies when they like first started coming out in terms of
Mhm.
like Avengers and stuff. Like I
Yeah,
was obsessed. But
2012-ish.
as I've gotten older, I don't know. There's so many of them now that I'm just not as hyped as most people. I'll still definitely go see it. I'm still excited to see it.
Yeah.
And I have seen the trailers, but I'm not like,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just kind of like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I'll see
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy. Like by the time, okay, so Avengers introduced the Thanos arc or whatever, and it took this long to get there, and now like kind of the steam has kind of ran out. So it's like if they had delayed this any longer, it probably would have hit flat. But just I want to know if this movie is going to be just a completely overblown, like confusing mess, or an amazing epic thing that has never happened before. Like I don't feel like it's going to be either one. It's either going to be an absolute trash fire disaster that has filled way too many characters, or a really amazing thing that is going to be historic and has never been seen before. Like I don't see that being just okay.
yeah.
Man, it's gonna be hilarious if the movie turns out to be
It's
trash.
bad. It's like we waited 8
It's like
years for this.
Batman versus
Yeah.
Superman or
Well, I feel
whatever.
there's way more going into this than Batman v Superman. Like this has 20 whatever films
Sure,
leading
sure,
up to
yeah.
it. Like this is
Yeah.
huge, and if
Yeah,
if it bombs, their future film slate's gonna be looking in danger to say the least.
Okay, so another reason why I don't really care that much about the movie is like because there's like so many different superheroes, like there's like 10 trillion people in this
Yeah,
movie.
it's insane.
That's like a lot of that's like a lot of Marvel movies that I would have to watch in order to understand like every character and like it's like really intimidating. So like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like watch all the movies and stuff. Like that 31-hour marathon that AMC is
that's
doing.
nuts. That's people are gonna
Like,
die.
it's a cool idea, but like not for me. Like I'm not trying to
Yeah.
watch 31 hours. Like even separately, like if I'm watching one movie a day, that's still like too much for me. Not about that.
Yeah, see, it's very much expecting you to know everything going
Yeah,
in because like I've seen
yeah,
them all. I've seen them all as they've come out, so it's a lot more reasonable. But yeah, like the way that the MCU is set up, they expect you to have seen the solo films before you see the event films, and this is
right,
the biggest event film, so they're going to expect you to see all of the solo films, which I like that. I like nobody has really ever done this before, and it's cool, but it could very well be just overblown, overinflated dumpster fire CGI mess trash, but or it's gonna be so freaking cool and see all these characters together and interacting and seeing Star-Lord interact with everybody, and man, it's if this bombs, man, it's ooh, Marvel's gonna be in trouble. We're not gonna see that Captain Marvel film, I don't think. All right,
yeah.
it's when is that? May? See,
April 27th.
oh, see, I'm so excited
Oh,
about
yeah,
it. I don't
yeah,
even know the
yeah,
release date. Yeah, it got pushed. It got pushed back to April instead of May.
So that's
That's
like
right.
next month.
Yep.
Hmm.
Here's like kind of funny does that like MCU in review where they're watching them all week to week. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's totally reasonable. I watched 3 weeks worth. I got up to like I think the Iron Man 2, and then I was like, it just fell to the wayside. I still do want to kind of now binge them all just because it's been so long for a lot of them, but it's a lot. It is a lot. I can understand coming out from the outside and be like, this is intimidating. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right, Micah Binfet asks, with the release of the new Strawberry Skittles slushie, which you can find a review on our YouTube channel, 2 cents on Taco Bell, from Taco Bell, what should the next flavor be, and why is it a sour Skittles flavor? So I'm going to stop you right there, Micah. The only flavor we need is lemon lime Gatorade, and you're still a crazy person. What would you like to see Taco Bell specifically do a slushie of? Because I haven't had any of their slushies before except for the Baja Blast, and I'm not a really big fan. But the Skittles thing is supposed to be the new hotness.
So real quick, I actually had a lemon lime Gatorade today. So
Because you're a gentleman and scholar, and Micah can go shove it.
yeah. But yeah, I never had any of their like dessert options or whatever. Like like I'm tempted to go out and try the Skittles one.
Max and
'cause-
Eli, stand by it.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like, a pretty good concept.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea. So let's see.
My answer's locked in, so I can't say anything else. Got nothing. How about you, Emma?
I'm not a huge slushy person. I don't really know what Taco Bell has, but I do. Do y'all have Sonic over there?
Oh,
Is that a thing
everywhere.
you guys have?
I mean, we have it
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah,
I have to ask now. But yeah, so Sonic has dope orange slushies. Like I love them.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Taco Bell has that or not. So if not, get it. Because who doesn't want an orange slushie? I want Taco Bell to have milkshakes, man.
I don't trust Taco Bell with milkshakes. I say that as somebody who loves Taco Bell, but I don't even trust their breakfast food, let alone a milkshake. If they can get it right.
I just want to be able to go to Taco Bell, get my shredded chicken burrito at 2 a.m. and get a milkshake.
I kind of want
whether it's good or bad at that point in time.
Yeah, it does
I just
not
feel like
matter.
I won't even care.
It does not matter whatsoever. Yeah. Ooh. Taco Bell betrayed me the last time I went. Well, not the last time because I'm a glutton for punishment, but the time before the last time with basically the intestinal treatment that is memed a lot online. And I've been treading lightly ever since. So, yeah, milkshake.
Yeah, I understand that.
I don't know, but I'd be down to try it. I mean, we're doing this new series now. I have to try them now. Well, or Eli has to try them, so he can take the blow for a milkshake. I'm down. Or yeah, if you're also just ignoring Taco Bell, if you're going to get a slushie, just go to Sonic. But I know this question is about Taco Bell, Micah. I know. I think there was something else. Maybe not. I might be a crazy person.
I'm just gonna say, make a wasabi slushie.
I'm sorry, one more time? Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Just make a wasabi slushie. Why not? Just
okay. This is like a Jurassic Park situation. Like you got all caught up on whether or not you could. You didn't think about whether or not you should.
Okay, so like I realized that this is not going to be popular. Probably no one's going to buy it. But here's the thing: just make like 1 or 2 a day. Only order enough to make like 1 or 2 a day.
It's not profitable then.
I mean, it doesn't have to be profitable. Someone
it does. It's a company.
Probably buy it. All right. Well, I mean that's my wild card answer.
I'm just speaking as someone who works in food. Like even if just a select people buy it, it's not enough to keep the item afloat. Unfortunately, even if it's good. Even if it's good, and a slight demand is there, like they'll axe it, especially in the fast food stuff. Um, that honestly sounds dreadful.
Well, make it like $300 to get one then.
Demand by scarcity. Artificial,
Someone
like
will buy it.
do the Nintendo model. You might be on something here. They should probably hire you over there.
Yeah, probably. I'm waiting.
All right. Well, with that disgusting taste in my mouth, it's time for I Recommend, where one of us recommends to the group something for the others to check out. It can be anything. Last time we were recommended Kids Trap by Blake Rules in Netherlands, as they call it, wholesome rap album for kids. So I listened to one full album, and I'm not going to lie. I'm being totally transparent here. A couple of these tracks, not bad. I was bobbing my head. I'm not ashamed. Which tracks did you listen to, Matt, again?
Let me pull up my Spotify app. So I listened to the first album. I mean, not the first album. I guess the second album, Kids Trap 2. I listened to Making Music, which I thought was okay. This is pretty good. Don't Fight. I'm like, all right, this is even better.
It's
And then
on the up and up.
And then I just chose one that had like the most interesting title for me. I Love My Grandma.
That's the sequel to I Love My Mom from Kids Trap 1.
Yeah, I added Don't Fight and I Love My Grandma to my own Spotify playlist because it was just too good. Too good.
So I couldn't find 2 for some reason. So I listened to the entirety of 1, even though I also use Spotify, so it should have been there. Yeah, I Love My Mom is a good one. Grandma's probably better. I'm Flossing.
Great,
I'm a big fan of I'm Flossing. And Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs was probably my favorite out of them all. And Emma, as someone who loves Kids Bop, how did you take to Kids Trap?
I didn't get to listen to Kids Trap.
Oh no! Oh, you're missing out.
But I know. But I'm so excited because yes,
this is for you.
This is all me. This is gushing me. Because I adore Kids Bop. I don't think I've talked about it here, but I know that I've talked to you guys about it. I found the Canadian version of Kids Bop, Mini Pop Kids.
I don't think you've talked about it on here, yeah. So give that a shout out.
It is way worse than Kids Bop.
How is that possible?
Go listen to Dancing Queen.
Okay.
Mini Pop Kids. All of their albums are on Spotify.
All of
Dancing
them.
Queen.
All right.
Thunder. Total Eclipse of the Heart. The first 5 seconds of California Girls. It's the first 5 seconds.
That's all it needs. Okay, I'm definitely interested because I have now been put into the kids music fold. I also need to give a shout out.
It is the best. It is the best.
I need to give a shout out to Whoa, It Feels So Good to Share with Friends. Not a great title, but it has some good beats. Honestly, I now that I'm looking at the songs, I unabashedly enjoyed more than these than I'd care to admit.
Is it just kids rapping?
No, it's not even kids. It's just wholesome rap. It's just really wholesome rap about things kids can relate to on a day-to-day basis, like flossing and sharing with your friends and having empathy toward one another.
And loving your grandma.
Loving your grandma and being
because
healthy.
She makes the best cookies.
There's one about the solar system where he talks about how much he loves the different planets and getting silly, just like we said, catharsis earlier. You just got to get silly sometimes. Go Play Outside is the opener, and I love reading books. So for any literature nuts out there, that's the song for you. It's quite the experience. It's not very long. You can get through them. I assume the second album is also in that case.
Yeah, they're only like 2 minutes long average. At least the songs that I listen to were.
Yeah, it's very digestible. All right, well, in that case, since you haven't listened to it, since we're kind of really good on time, do you want to pull up some more of those random questions and just fire them off before we end?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're only at An hour 11 minutes right now.
So,
Just because you fired some really good ones off earlier.
all right.
In addition.
So I'm just going to. We'll just rapid fire
Yes,
answer these.
I love
Won't go
this.
into detail.
All right.
No matter how dumb the question.
Okay.
So,
Even if they don't
first
make
one
sense
up.
grammatically.
Do you keep a journal? Let's establish an order. So I'll read the question, I'll answer, and then like Matt, you'll go, and then Noah, you'll go after
Sounds
that.
good to me. Sounds good to me.
So, do you keep a journal? I personally do not. I used to when I was a kid, but I do not anymore.
I used to also when I was a kid, or for like a day or a week, but not anymore now.
Yeah.
No.
We're too cool for that.
I was heavily like told to keep one when I was a kid, and then that didn't last. But I would honestly, if I started doing it now, I would be kind of afraid of what I would put out on the page. So
I love going back and reading what
Yeah.
I wrote in third
Oh, no.
grade.
See, if I
when
did
it's
it
just
then,
cringe.
bad.
if I did it then till now, yeah, it'd be a totally different story. I'd love to read that stuff, but now it's just like whatever. I have this show to do that. This show is my journal now.
Next question. What do you usually eat in the morning? Me, I don't eat anything in the morning. It makes me sick to my stomach, so I don't eat until lunchtime.
Uh, I just see whatever's in my fridge. Like I'll tell you what I don't eat in the morning. Cereal. Like that's like really popular for some people.
Too cliche.
I'll have some cereal. I'm like, nah, I'll eat cereal for dinner if anything.
You got to go against the grain always.
Yeah, that's my answer.
When I'm like you, like I don't often eat in the morning, but when I do, there is nothing better than a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios lately.
Okay, real quick. I know we're not going to get into detail, but define morning.
Breakfast.
Yeah, just the first meal you have after waking up.
Okay, so like in high school, I never ate breakfast because like Emma, it would make me sick.
Same.
But I wake up now at like 12. It's not, it's not morning, but my first meal of the day, whatever it is, I consider that breakfast, so
Sleep schedules, am I right?
Yeah, man.
Next question. Filling in.
All right, ready for the next question?
Yes, ready for the next question.
Next question. What was your first job? My first real job, I guess, was technically babysitting, but my first like real job was GameStop.
Power to the players.
Oh God, don't.
Yes.
I worked at GameStop for about 2 years, my junior, senior year of high school.
My condolences. I had tried to apply there, and then I read the horror stories.
Absolutely loved the guys I worked with. Every single one of them, awesome. The company, hot garbage.
Yeah, that's the coldest take of the year right there.
It's just, when I started working there, it was when they first introduced the whole Circle of Life program, which I think they've done away with, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I've gone down the rabbit holes of all the YouTube videos of just people's horror stories.
My GameStop horror story, I've watched that.
Yeah. My experiences were not near that bad because I think it all depends on who you work with, and I got really lucky. But yeah, GameStop. Love the benefits. Company is, like I said, hot garbage.
How many subscriptions of Game Informer did you sell in those 2 years?
Oh God, I don't even know. Way too many. Because here's the thing: if you don't sell enough, they'll fire you.
Oh shit! Really? Damn.
They keep track of your numbers. Yeah, so they keep track of how many PowerUp Rewards memberships you sell, how many game warranties you sell,
how many
pre-orders. Yeah, and they can fire you if they don't think your numbers are higher enough. That's like grounds for them to fire you.
That's way too stressful of a job for what it actually is.
Yeah.
I know.
Selling games, but like that's like so much stress.
Yeah, if you don't, it's like cops having like ticket quotas. It's like if you do not do
Yeah.
this, you're in trouble. Um, Man, I can only
Have I
imagine.
never told you guys I worked there?
No, you
No,
did. You
no,
just
like
never
you
elaborated.
did.
Okay,
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
have
yeah.
some stories, man. So that needs to be like a topic for another
That's
time. But
absolutely
I
its
got
own
some
topic.
crazy, crazy stories.
I'll save the remainder of my questions for then. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. What's your first job?
So like Emma said, the first thing that I did to like gain pretty significant amount of money was babysitting.
Oh, we got some money
For
bags.
whatever reason, my neighbors thought like I was like I guess trustworthy enough to like watch their kids, so I did it and like I made like pretty good money. I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of missed that. Like that would
Nice.
be a good side hustle now. But my first like real like legit quote unquote job is I work at a grocery store doing maintenance outside. So that would be like you know, collecting people's carts, putting them back like where they should go, sweeping the front of the store, and then like taking trash out, and then like doing anything else the management might ask me, or helping people to their cars, putting their groceries in their cars, like stuff like that. And I still currently work there. So I got that job like like right after I graduated high school, and I've been working there now for 2 years and 7 months.
Damn. Yeah, those guys don't get enough credit because it like doesn't matter what the weather is. They're out there getting carts. They're doing their
Yep.
thing.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty cancerous when it's snowing and like the wind is like pushing against you, and it's pretty horrible sometimes, but for the most part I like it. It's all right.
Nice. Yeah, my first like you said like my first illegitimate job was landscaping for my grandmother, and by landscaping I say that in the most light way possible, like just picking weeds, mowing the lawn, that kind of stuff. But here's the thing: her yard, massive. Her backyard was ginormous. Like you don't
Mm,
see backyards like that ever now. That's a really old house. It's now since been sold, but yeah, it was an absolutely monumental task. It was slight tasks spread out over a giant area. So, and then I knew like it was coming to a close when she asked me to take out her rose bushes that she had, which were sacred to her for years. I was like, all right, it's this gig's coming to an end pretty soon, unfortunately. So yeah, that was my first illegitimate one. And then now I'm still at my first job. I make pizza at my local pizza company, Idaho Pizza Company. Been there for over a year and a half now. It's I love the people I work with, but yeah, kind of a similar situation where the corporate management just not great, and they cause more problems than they fix. And if they're listening to this right now, I'm probably not working there anymore. But yeah, I love my coworkers. They're all great. I hope to stay in contact with them even when I leave. But it's been a interesting ride there to say the least. That's all I'll say.
All right, we got another weird one
All
here.
right, I love it.
my favorite.
Would you rather not be able to use your hands or not be able to walk?
Not be able
Ooh.
to. Yeah, you
Oh,
go, man.
that's a tough
This is
one.
rapid fires. I would
Mhm.
I'd be okay with not walking because then I can just get me a fancy cart and I can just wheel around. I'd rather be able to move my hands so I can play video games,
And everything else. Uh, what about you, Matt?
Yeah,
like eat.
Yeah,
I
like eat. I
mean,
can't eat with my feet.
not being able to walk would be pretty devastating, but like, you know, if I can't play video games ever again, that's like, ooh,
Rough.
like I need to use my hands, like, because if you can't use your hands, you can't like surf the internet, and eating would be insanely hard to do. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with hands. Gotta
Yeah,
keep those.
I'm going with hands as well. I like how the first thing you guys were like, it was like video games, internet. I'm like, yeah, just like basic day to day, like eating and using the bathroom and stuff like that.
Wiping,
Yeah, what? Yeah,
right?
that's a little bit higher on the priority scale. But yeah, losing access to games would be devastating. Except I can get like one of those custom controllers for your feet or something, um, like the custom
Yeah,
made ones, for able gamers or whatever. Um, yeah, that's honestly kind of a easy answer for me.
Yep.
yeah,
Gotta have
same.
hands, ginormous, overly sized hands.
Gotta.
All right.
How are you gonna pet the animals?
Yeah, exactly. I could do that with my feet.
Well, you could, but
I'd look super fucking weird, but I can do it.
it's not the same, man.
It's not.
All right. Would you rather be rich and ugly or poor and good looking? Well,
Rich and ugly.
I'm poor and ugly right now. So I'm gonna go for rich and ugly because then the only thing that would change is I'd be rich.
Rich. What'd you, Matt?
So yeah, I think I'd rather be financially secure than be like beautiful or whatever.
Yeah, and poor.
So I'm definitely gonna have to go with rich and ugly.
Yeah, same. I literally nothing would change. I would just be richer. So it's a win-win situation. Well, not a win-win because I'd still have my face, but it would be a win situation.
All right.
Let's do a few more.
We'll do three more.
Sounds good.
All right.
3 and 3.
Yeah, the
Do
Moriarty.
you
3 and 3.
believe in luck?
Oh,
Oh, that's a really loaded question. I'm gonna say no. No, I do not believe in luck.
okay.
I'm going to say yes. I definitely do believe in luck.
Okay. I have conflicting opinions on this. Two of my childhood role models. One, Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's no such thing as luck. Two, Master Chief. He's lucky as hell all the time. I think it's probably just how we perceive good things happening. I don't think it's like this, karmic force that surrounds us and gives us a leg up when we need it. But yeah, I think it's just just coincidence and good things happening to you when you need it to. That's
a loaded question.
That's kind of a philosophical
that
thing.
comes with a lot. Right, a very simple question, but yeah, you're right. Very philosophical. Alrighty. If if there was an extra hour every day, what would you do with it?
Oh boy.
I would sleep. If I had a 1 extra hour a day, what kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I would change the world. No, I would sleep more.
Let's be honest with each other. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like as it is now, I don't get enough sleep, like as much as like is recommended.
Mhm.
So probably, yeah, that 1 extra hour of sleep would come in pretty clutch.
I want to say sleep too, but knowing myself, I would just use it as an excuse to stay up later.
Fuck.
You're
not wrong.
And then regret not having another hour to sleep and then also using that for staying up longer. That's a problem. Yeah. The smart person in me says sleep, but the realist in me says just stay up playing games or whatever, reading, listening to music, all the above. Eating wings after work.
Wings.
Doesn't that sound good?
It does.
All right. The last one.
Last question. What is the worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh shit.
So let's just do like first one you think of. First one that I think of, the Netflix Death Note movie.
That's up there.
I mean, just like the first time I saw it was because I'd never seen Death Note, but then I watched the anime and then I rewatched the movie and I was like, wow, this is hot garbage.
It's even bad on its own. It's not even just with the anime.
So that was like the very first thing that popped into my mind was that movie.
What about you, Matt? There's a lot of bad movies out there.
I'm gonna look up top list of movies or something because nothing's coming to my head right now. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Probably it was probably something. Oh, okay, I got one. God, what was it called though? It was like this really old movie that one of my teachers made us watch. Oh,
Citizen
Gone with
Kane.
Gone with the Wind. Trash.
Really?
Trash.
Really?
What's
That's
considered to be like one of the best movies of all time.
that is a hot take if I've ever heard one.
It's way too boring. Like I'm pretty
man.
sure I fell asleep watching that.
Oh man.
I can sympathize though. I mean, I had to watch Citizen Kane for my film class, and I hated it.
Really? I
And
need to
that's
watch
like
it.
that's like supposedly the greatest movie of all time, and
Yeah.
I despise everything about it. So
Everything
like I
about it?
definitely fell asleep.
Not even
Yes,
the
everything.
cinematography, because like it has some really beautiful imagery in it.
Not for me.
Okay,
It's
all right.
not for me.
All right, I need to watch the full thing so I can have an opinion. That's not going to be the recommendation this week. Just
Thank God.
I kind of want to do it eventually. So I want to hear Max's opinion because he likes what he likes and he doesn't give a fuck, and I want to hear his reaction. Worst movie. So I had to look this up. It's apparently Google users 80% of people liked it, which is nuts. A 2009 action comedy called Looking for Jackie. It's about this student who's looking for Jackie Chan to like talk to him or whatever. It's literally Jackie Chan's on the cover. It's all about Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan isn't in the movie. I thought I was gonna get
I guess he didn't
a
find
Jackie
him.
Chan movie. No, he found him, but he had a phone call with him. He had a phone call with him at the end. Literally, the whole resolution is like, stop doing this. Like you need to focus on your studies at school. Like you need to be an A+ student, and that was the resolution. The most boring slog I've ever seen. Just poorly written, poorly executed, awful cinematography, abysmal score, absolutely terrible film. 80% of Google users are fucking stupid. Miserable movie. I have a lot of bad movies, but that I've never felt just so. I felt nothing in that movie. Like there's a lot of bad movies like you can still appreciate, but this was just totally monotone and just abysmal to watch. Just absolutely terrible. Never want to see it again. Even though I feel like we should all watch that too. All right. Well, that was fun. I like that website. We should do that as a kind of a
That's fun.
sometimes a
And that other
reoccurring
one's
topic.
Great too.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can make this a reoccurring section for when we need time to fill. All right. So it is now time for I Recommend, where one of us recommends the group something for the others to check out. It can be anything. I'm going to take us home this week. So I recently got into this YouTube channel called Red Letter Media. They are pretty well known at this point. They have a pretty substantial amount of subscribers, not in YouTube terms, but in terms of just clout. So they started off by doing this 7-part review of Star Wars The Phantom Menace from the perspective of this character named Mr. Plinkett, who is like this 100-and-something-year-old old man who's like on the side a serial killer, but he reviews movies too, bad movies. And it's a 7-part, hilarious, informative, like there's plenty of dark comedy, but then there's also every single point as to why the Star Wars prequels are terrible, really eloquently put, but then with this thin layer of satire and dark comedy, it's this really weird mix that shouldn't work but does. And then I'm not going to recommend the Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith reviews for the discussion next week, but I do recommend you go watch those as well. They're like an hour and a half long though, so that's why I'm not going to push them, but especially the Revenge of the Sith one is hilarious. So go check out Red Letter Media's Mr. Plinkett reviews Star Wars The Phantom Menace. It's a journey, to say the least, and pretty much the reason why they're successful to this day. So go check that out. It's on YouTube still, unfortunately edited. If you could find one that's all put together, that would probably be ideal, like a fan edit or whatever. But yeah, it was uploaded to the point when YouTube only allowed like 10-minute clips, so that's why it's so split up. Luckily, later ones like the Revenge of the Sith review are all in one part. So highly recommend it. It's really funny and totally nails why the prequels are terrible. All right, well, that is it. This has been episode 28 of Gridlife Digest Weekly. Thank you so much for listening. You can head over to gridlifedigest.com to see all the content in one place. Consider subscribing on YouTube and the podcast service of your choice so you never miss what's happening. We'll be back next Wednesday with another conversation. Thank you too. This was fun. Matt, always a pleasure. Emma's always a pleasure. Yeah. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Excuse me. My English always breaks at the end. I've noticed. I just can't speak by the time we're finishing these shows. So have a wonderful rest of your week. Be good to each other.
Yes.
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 Can confirm.
No, have a terrible week.
Yeah.
I hope you all fail every class you're in. I hope every single one of you gets fired
Hope
from
your
your
significant
job.
other breaks up with you.
Right. I
Sleeps
hope
with your best friend.
all your hopes and dreams are just crushed.
Crushing the palm of Mr. Plinkett's hand.